Ailey Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No. Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, we did it.
You just roll in?
I did. It's been a long day, but I spent some time in LA with the kiddos, so I was with them all day and took a flight and got here right on time.
There you go, buddy. That's all that
It's
matters.
my evening with my peoples.
Your peoples.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. All right,
And
guys.
we're matching.
Ooh, I love
Your tie and my dress, and
are
we're all matching.
Look at this.
And look at this too. Sweater. Is it winter? Not yet.
I like it.
See what
All
I'm saying?
There you go.
Very snuggy-ish.
Yeah.
It's a sexy snuggie.
Yeah.
Snuggie with a rip.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it now. Kathy Lee Gifford didn't hold back when talking about Kelly Ripa's new book. So we talked about this last week. In her memoir, Kelly dished on her complicated working relationship with Regis. Kelly said they weren't friends offset, and it took years for her to earn her place on the show. But Kathy Lee told Good Day New York she had a very different experience with Regis. Let's watch.
I'm not going to read the book. I haven't read it. I don't even know if it's out yet. I know what Regis was to me, Rosanna. He was 15 years the best partner a person could ever have.
Again, we talked about this last week. Kathy Lee was on her show. Kelly wasn't, so whose side am I on? The first one.
Way to be transparent.
There you go. Yeah. No, I don't like what Kelly Ripa kind of had to say, especially about someone who passed away back in 2020. What do you guys think?
I still don't feel like there was an indictment on his character. I think it was an explanation of what her experience was coming onto that show. And I think that people can have very different experiences. I mean, look, we have a huge group of people in this room. Like, not everyone's relationship is going to manifest the same. And I don't think that someone should be silenced about their experience just because it wasn't everybody else's experience. That's a part of her story, and she told it. It's not the way that she was intending on selling the book based on some of the other things that she displayed, but it's what people pulled on because, of course, it's clickbait.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's how you tell the story, Tori. If I wrote a memoir and I said, the first time I walked in the dressing room, I saw Erica and she was like, oh no, here comes another one. I don't know if we want a male co-host, and I just left the story at that and didn't finish the rest of it, and then we had it and finished the second half of it, and then she cracked a beautiful smile, and then we laughed about it, and we were friends ever since. If I don't add that second part, that first narrative is just going to be what people read, and there's got to be a fierce loyalty that Kathy feels for Regis, and if she's like, you're going to tell my friend's story, tell it all the way. And we have people that work here that have known him. It seems like he's got a pretty good relationship. I don't mind her telling her version of it, but there's a way to say that's how I took it as opposed to kind of that's how I was. It's very nuanced. Am I being weird, or do you see where I'm going?
No, I understand what you're saying. I just think that continues to perpetuate a feeling that she has already been made to feel. You have to put yourself in that situation too. Like, I think the fact that we all started together is a major perk for us, because we all understand when we're talking about season 1 versus season 3, where we were on the show. We understand how to communicate with each other because of that. If someone's coming into the equation,
Right. It's different. It's just
a different experience.
It's a different angle. Both of these can be true. Both of these, it's so weird to say, and I learned this a lot from you. Kathy Lee has a right to stick up for her co-host, and Kelly Ripa has a right to say what she has to say. And we can read into it whatever we want. It's versions of different angles. That's all it is.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was good.
I just get it on just a loyalty thing. Like, no one is ever going to talk crazy about you guys in a book, especially if you're not here to defend yourself.
But that's
like,
the nature of our relationship.
We started. I feel like if I was going to take over for Ryan Seacrest on American Idol, there's going to be some like, hey, what's up, buddy? You're that guy from whatever. You're going to get some ribbon
Push
a little
and pull,
bit, right?
yeah.
You got to earn your spot. That's how I feel, but I totally see your guys' point as well. All right, let's talk about George Clooney. He is talking about being an older dad. So George became a dad at 56 when he had his twins with them all. He told Hoda Kotb he's not scared of being too old to miss major milestones in their life. Let's watch.
No, I kind of like the idea of being sort of out of it when, like, my daughter starts to date. Papa, I want you to meet, he's a drummer in a band. How about? I like toast. I'm okay with it.
I didn't want to laugh at that. That was funny.
That was all right. That was all right.
Funny. I mean, it's kind of, I guess I count as an older parent. But my daughter and I did our first driving lessons this weekend, so I'm going to see a lot of the milestones, knock on wood, But I mean, I guess he was kind of laughing it off. But Tori, do you think there was like a little bit of pain under there? Because he's like might not see his daughter or his twins. He might not see them get married realistically. I mean,
I know.
It's the way life works.
Yeah, it's hard to decide. My mom is like, when are you going to have children? Because you're so old, which A, is so mean, but also because she wants to be there to see the bat mitzvah and to see the marriage and to see, it's very important for them to see the rituals. And if you miss those milestones, it's a push and pull and a risk versus reward of what you want versus your career versus what you're going to see with your children. And at some point you compromise and you have to sacrifice. And my mom feels very sacrificed right now.
Your mom.
She's very upset.
Let me give you some numbers real fast. So they're 5 right now. So when George is 74, they'll be 18. Okay? And when he's 86, they'll be 30. So just some little math there. To put it in perspective.
I think that there is a risk reward also the way that biology works into everyone's family planning. I'm 41. I don't have kids yet. I'm still leaving room for that to be an option. And I have to be honest, like a lot of people are very critical of especially women who make the choice to be an older mother. But I have never looked at, and I have beautiful examples of motherhood and family and all of those things. I have never looked at a single person and thought, I would rather be in your shoes.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
No one's ever done that. No one's ever looked at me and had that thought. So it's good that you're the first.
No, it's like, and I'm just being honest about it. Like, I have resolved in my mind, body, and spirit that if this is for me to become a mother, then the way that I will become a mother is exactly the right way for me.
You.
So those are conversations that I've already had with myself, I've had with my husband and our family. But the thing about the parents, that is the biggest pull.
That's my guilt.
Right.
That's my guilt. Right.
It's like, I want my children or my child to meet my parents and my in-laws.
That's right.
I want them to have some sort of a relationship. That pulls on me more than like, oh, I should have done this at 25, because quite frankly, if I did it at 25, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I'm exactly on the same page.
Yeah, just a little, listen, you guys do what you want, you're gonna do what you want, but to have a baby because someone else wants you to have that baby is no reason to have a baby.
That's why I haven't had the baby.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say
that's why I
anything. You
haven't
guys
had
do
the
what you
baby.
want, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot of love and it's a lot of care, and you don't want to resent that baby when it's 2 a.m. you haven't slept for 2 weeks and you're like, I didn't even want you. You're here because of someone else. It's like, you have some crazy thoughts. That's real. You have some crazy thoughts.
At 2 a.m. when the baby's calling, that's called international waters. Like anything you say, you cannot feel guilty in the morning. Like you're so tired and so mad. So I guarantee you people have that thought.
And that's why at 40 and 41, I'm still listening to that and taking it very seriously and not having it yet.
That's honest.
All right. Good talk. Coming up on DBL, we're talking about some of the best breakup songs, I should say, of all time, and we're going to share some of our favorites with you. That's next.
Closed captioning provided by...
I'm easily tickled, y'all. It doesn't take much.
We're going to sit here and be right.
I know y'all going to be mad at me, but I'm just telling you the truth.
You can smirk all you want. You don't have to tell me to go.
Brad Pitt.
Actively trying to work on responding. I'm talking to BJ, telling him, I'm trying to do this, be mindful. Jeff, you're on this. Erica, I know you've been on this, and Tori does the PEMA stuff. Like, when somebody writes me a nice email, I try and respond in the moment, and I realized for a long time I wasn't, because I don't know. It took me a while to accept praise.
Wait, hold on, who's next?
Yeah, that's a weird place.
I would write back to the negative one sometimes.
I write to the negative ones too.
Right.
And sometimes we have a respectful conversation and it turns good.
But I'm trying to write back to the nice ones.
Yeah, it's smart. Yeah,
I got it. I'm definitely.
And sometimes people, like, there's this one girl, and I don't mean to call her out, but she put it on Instagram. Yesterday I wrote for World Mental Health Day, like, you gotta fight for your...
Right to party?
I knew you were gonna say that, and I gave you space to say it. I gave you space.
Yeah. You gotta fight And I looked at you and I started laughing a little bit. I looked at.
I wonder at what age do people not know to finish it like that?
Like
2002.
but
Did you know that, Jerry?
I'm like, speaking of Beastie Boys, no, but I said you got to fight for the medication for your therapist and she wrote me and said, I'm so tired, I don't want to fight. And I was like, this person wrote me, but she's looking for an outlet. So I said, could you go take a walk with someone? She said, no one. I go, let's take a walk together. So she's going to go on a walk and take a picture and send it to me.
Oh, that's great.
And I think that is a way to engage with your followers that's like life-saving in a way, because I would use people in that way.
Yeah, I think that we are like not acknowledging that we were all in our caves for 2.5 years, and some people that weren't living with somebody have been isolated for now 3 years.
She seems real.
And it's like, we have to like remember this. Like, call your aunt. And I'm like talking to myself, but like, there's a reason when people are like, I don't want to fight anymore. It's because they haven't touched, gotten that hug.
I know.
You know,
physical.
Welcome back to DBL. What gets us through our highs and lowest lows? Music, of course. So today we're taking a trip down memory lane with the best breakup songs of all time. Oh, look at that great logo. All right, a survey recently looked at the top breakup songs, which include hits like I Will Survive. Let's hear a little bit.
Woo! I thought that was
There we go. How about Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way? These are just a couple examples, guys. Here we go. That's a good one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go Your Own Way. Makes sense. And how about this one? I Will Always Love You. Is this a breakup song?
I don't find this to be a breakup
Me
song.
neither. I thought this was like a wedding song.
Oh yeah. Or I'm obsessed with you
Or
forever.
maybe not a wedding song.
A good sad breakup.
How about
No, this is more funeral than breakup.
If somebody's like going overseas for a job for 8 years and you sent them that like in the airport line and somebody sent that, like tears. Come on.
Yeah, because something else is taking you away. It's
Yeah,
not
I'll
y'all
always love
broke.
you.
Yeah, okay.
How about number one? I don't think anyone would guess this one. Have a listen.
Okay.
You go back to her, I go back to her.
I love Amy Winehouse, but that wasn't one that kind of struck me as the number one breakup song.
No.
But we have our own breakup songs, right? And I'm going to look at this little sticky note that my producer gave me. Because if you guys don't know, we always go around the horn, so to speak, but I have a sticky note. I wonder what the meetings are like when I'm not here. That's what I wonder what's happening. If I have to have a sticky note to say it goes from Tori to Al to Erica to me, yikes.
I thought it started with me.
We're worried for
And everyone's laughing a little too loud. All right, Erica, Tori, go ahead.
When I get dumped, which it was always happening, I would need to feel motivated. So this is my song, baby, hit it.
So I wanna say thank you, 'cause it makes me that much stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, it makes me that much wiser.
They couldn't hear me?
I don't think so.
That's super embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
Tori
true
was
story.
narrating that whole thing.
I got hit by a car while listening to that, while crying by being dumped.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's number one in my
Call
book.
that the full Tory.
Yeah.
Mine is very iconic.
Full Tory.
Let's just play it. Take it back, yeah.
Did you make a mixtape for somebody?
Oh, there were many mixtapes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sure.
burned CDs, yes.
Mine is, well, let's just play it.
Oh, I like this.
Too young, too dumb to realize that I should have bought you flowers and held your hand.
That's a good
Yes,
one.
because what I'm thinking about during a breakup is all the things that I settled for.
Oh.
That's correct.
They're all
That
pretty
I
sad.
did not find myself deserving of. And true story, this song was playing when I was with my boyfriend at the time, who I eventually married. And we were doing all of those things in that moment. And I was like, damn, I should have really been looking for this the whole time.
Jeff, what's yours?
Damn It by Blink 182. Very quickly, yeah. We could get a little. See, like that song, it's like you got to do the sad, do the tears, and then get over it and get back on that horse.
You want to know something really good?
I like that.
Blink 182 just reunited today, this morning.
We all have TMZ on our app. Whoa.
Damn it.
Got a lot of crowd reaction today. We'll be right back. That was good.
Thank you.
I've never really been.
Midterm election season is here, and that means there will be political ads everywhere you look. And some of those ads will inevitably make outlandish claims.
Some Verify viewers emailed us to ask if candidate ads have to tell the truth. So let's verify. Are political ads required to be factual in order to be aired on broadcast television? Our sources are the Federal Communications Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, and University of Minnesota political science professor David Schultz. The rules for political ads are very different than typical consumer products, and we want to be clear up front that the answer to this question is no. Political ads are not required to be factual in order to be aired on broadcast television. In fact, the law allows politicians to say almost whatever they want in a commercial. This is because political ads are regulated by the FCC, which applies just two rules. One is that all candidates have the same opportunity to buy commercial time on stations. And two is that politicians can say whatever they want. Accuracy is not one of the rules, although TV stations could run a disclaimer explaining the rules before airing an ad. The only consequence for politicians who produce misleading or false ads is in court, and that's only if they defame someone, which is rare and hard to prove.
I think the rationale behind it is what? The idea of saying that candidates get to say what they want, and the voters get to sort of, through the marketplace of ideas, decide what's true, what's false.
That marketplace could also include news stories or fact checks like Verify stories explaining what's true and false. Schultz says you should always read the fine print on an ad to see who is funding it, and do your own research on a candidate to see if what's being claimed is really true. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. When Sarah Culberson set out to find her birth family, she discovered that she's a real African princess. Earlier, we spoke to her about the surprising news and how it changed her life forever. Take a look.
Oh,
Princess Sarah Culberson, Lady of Bouquet.
Yes.
Welcome to DBL. I can't getting that. I saying that I had chill.
Yes, my sis, Sarah. Hey, girlfriend, how are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to see you again.
It's so good to see you too. You always knew you were adopted as a baby. So what led to you seeking out your birth family?
I wanted to know more about my biological roots. I wanted to know who I look like. I wanted to know medical history. So I had all these questions I wanted to get answered. So that's what kind of led me. Oh my gosh, these pictures are fabulous. Oh, photos, they're so funny. But that's what just led me to want to find my birth family. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's just like, 'cause I want to hear about the day that you found out you were a princess, because everybody always goes, in a past life, I was told I was a king. You were a princess in this current life. So, like, when did you learn about this, and when did you finally speak to your birth father?
So I learned about this in 2003 and went to Sierra Leone, met my birth father, met the whole tribe, and was welcomed by hundreds of people singing and dancing.
What?
And then oh my gosh, my father gave me this beautiful green African dress. And when I arrived, all the women of the village came forward wearing the same green dress that I had been given. And I took my parents who adopted me to Sierra Leone. My dad and my birth father were just in that last photo. And everyone started to work together after this war, which was pretty incredible. We've been working in public health, education, technology, and female empowerment with our nonprofit Sierra Leone Rising.
I want to ask you, when you were able to talk with your father, with your birth father, did he have a reason for why he gave you up for adoption?
Yes. So my father had gone away to school and found out that my birth mother, who was a white American, she was pregnant and he didn't know. So he went away to school, found out. She said, "Don't worry, Joe, I'll take care of her." So she kept me for 9 months, and then she said, "Okay, this is too hard." He said, "What should we do?" And she said, "I think we should place her in adoption to give her to a family who can give her what she needs right now."
Wow.
And he said, "Okay." So that's why they chose to do that, which I think was very selfless and pretty amazing.
Wow. Can I ask you, I know this is going to sound sort of easy question, but it's a little bit deeper there. What does being a princess mean to you? I mean, how does it speak to you personally? Now, did it change you overnight? Were you like a different person?
For the longest time, actually, I didn't even claim the title, to be honest. And then I started to talk to people in my life, and they said, "Wait a second, this is important. This is your lineage. This is heritage. Little girls need to know that we're descendants from African royalty and people who look like you, right? We are descendants from kings and queens, and to shift the narrative of just being descendants from slaves." So what it means to me is responsibility, walking in my family's footsteps, and working together to make sure this country moves forward in a powerful way.
Sarah, I have a hard-hitting question. Does the DMV need to be notified when you found out you were a princess? Because I would want that on my license.
I swear I was going to ask
Royal
that.
Highness?
Yes.
Right?
Is that real?
You're funny. I thought about that. I'm like, should I change this? What should I do?
Yes.
I don't have it on my license yet. No, not yet.
You got to get it on.
And by the way, I don't even think you need to take a ticket. You just go to the front.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right, your story is being turned into a live-action Disney movie. Wow. Of course it is. How will you be involved in this project?
I'm actually an executive producer. Wow. I'm a consultant the whole way through. I will play a role in the movie as well. My background is in undergrad and graduate school in classical theater. And I get to work with these amazing women. We're all working on this, all women, women of color.
Before we let you go, since we're talking to African royalty, there's been a campaign to boycott Viola Davis's film, The Woman King. It's getting backlash for being historically, quote, inaccurate. So what did you think of the film?
I thought it was incredible. And I think that historically, there are so many different stories. There are different lenses we can see. And this was a lens about women warriors and being uplifted. We have seen so many slavery movies, and not that they're not important, but it's re-traumatizing over and over again. And I think that this movie is incredible and what we need, to be totally honest.
Thank you so much for joining us, Princess Sarah, DBL Nation. You can support her nonprofit. We have it on the screen right here, Sierra Leone Rising, by visiting sarahculberson.com. Again, Princess, it was lovely to meet you. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Bye-bye.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
To play a high school sport in Florida, athletes have to fill out a health assessment. But a section of questions for female athletes only is drawing criticism. News reports and People are claiming that female student athletes in Florida have to report their menstrual history to the state in order to play sports. After the Supreme Court's recent ruling in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health, which overturned the constitutional right to an abortion granted through Roe v. Wade, some people have raised concerns about providing reproductive health data to outside sources. So let's verify. Are female athletes in Florida public high schools required to report their menstrual history to play sports? Our sources are the Florida High School Athletic Association and 3 Florida public school districts. These are the forms from the Florida High School Athletic Association that all public school student athletes in the state have to fill out in order to participate. And this section is for female athletes only. It asks questions about the athlete's reproductive health, including when was your first menstrual period and how many periods have you had in the last year. As you can see here, it says on the form that filling it out is optional. Claudia Shea, Executive Director of Communications and Engagement for the Palm Beach County School District in Florida, told Verify, claims that female athletes have to answer these questions are false. She says these questions have been on the physical form for at least 2 decades, and answering them has been optional, whether the information is provided online or on paper. In Palm Beach County, Florida, student athletes of any gender use the same form and can write not applicable in the section with questions about menstrual cycles, according to Shea. So why are these questions included on the form? The Cleveland Clinic says abnormal or irregular periods can indicate potential health problems, such as bleeding, thyroid, or pituitary disorders. So we can verify, no. Female athletes at Florida public high schools aren't required to report their menstrual history to play sports. And Florida isn't alone. Other states, including Virginia and North Carolina, ask similar questions of their student athletes. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Overly processed foods are a big part of the American diet. According to the Washington Post, 60% of calories American adults consume are from what they call frankenfoods. Scientists say these foods are designed to deliver a combo of fat, sodium, and sugar that could hijack the brain's reward system, triggering powerful cravings. The problem is, dozens of studies link ultra-processed foods to obesity, heart disease, and colon cancer. So what counts as an ultra-processed food? It's typically an industrial creation. Think hot dogs, sugary cereals, and boxed macaroni and cheese. Interesting enough, though, the National Institutes of Health found that people who ate similar foods, mostly made from scratch, lost weight and lowered their cholesterol.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Welcome back. Did you know lower back pain is one of the major disabling health conditions as you age? It's time for some joint and muscle support brought to you by Omega XL. So according to an orthopedic surgeon, adults 60 and up are more likely to develop lower back problems compared to working age adults. So here's what you can do about it. First, aerobic exercising. Think dancing and lightweight lifting.
Get down, brother.
That's right. Maybe to a little music. This increases blood flow to the tissue in your lower back, which will help with stiffness and healing. Next, maintain an ideal weight. Every extra pound adds strain to the muscles and ligaments of the back, which will weaken your spine. And finally, quit smoking and correct your posture. Studies showed, thank you, Tori, put that cigarette out too. A direct link to smoking and back pain and keeping your bones and joints in alignment reduces additional stress on your back. Omega XL has improved the lives of millions of consumers, supported by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. Call 1-800-686-5325 or visit omegaxl.com for more information. That was long and useful.
It was useful. I do a little bit of dancing sometimes.
To what?
Just to myself, when I wake up in the morning, I've realized I didn't move my body. I was pretty sedentary, and they say being sedentary or not moving is just as bad as sugar or smoking for you.
Is it worse than dancing by yourself with no music?
There's nothing wrong with dancing by
I feel like
yourself
she has like
with no music.
I feel like she has a mannequin in her room that she spins around.
Dancing by yourself with no music.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll discuss tomorrow.
How do you know about mannequin?